To have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card .
By virtue of the powers vested in me as acting Vice Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this occasion. Let's pause for a while. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ramahwai Magano. I'm the Vice Principal, giving oversight to the portfolio of institutional development. A very good afternoon to all of you. A very good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It is proper to be excited in a graduation ceremony. Welcome to the penultimate UNISA Spring Graduation Ceremony, which is hosted in this magnificent ZK Matthews Auditorium, an auditorium named after the late legendary stalwart of the struggle in our country against apartheid and an alumnus of our university, Professor Zachariah Kiudirileng Matthews. As I greet and welcome you, please receive warm salutations from the Chancellor of our university and former State President of our country, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the Principal and Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Puleng Lenkabula, the Council of our university, ably led by Dr. Dan Musia. These leaders of our university, together with all epistemic communities of our university, are very proud about the milestones that you, the graduates, have attained, and therefore extend their unreserved congratulations to each and every one of you, and also to your parents, guardians, spouses, relatives, and friends, who in many ways were an immediate source of support to you during the period of your study. We are mindful that the journey to this end might not have been easy, but nonetheless, through your commitment, you have actually made it. And we do recognize that because of the contestations of life, an event such as this may invoke the painful memories of yesteryear, but nonetheless, your indomitable spirit, a spirit that refused to give up, and even in the midst of adversity, you have made it. Many congratulations to each and every one of you. You deserve to be lavished with all sorts of commendations and praises. To the parents, guardians, spouses, and relatives of the graduates, please know that this graduation ceremony is in many ways a fitting tribute in recognition of the sacrifices you have made in support of the graduates. And I'm truly out of death to master words that can accurately appreciate and thank you for the phenomenal support and encouragement you gave to the graduates during the course of their studies. As a university, we are forever indebted to your altruistic acts of kindness and love. It is therefore our desire that within means possible, that the graduates will find ways of expressing their thankfulness, their gratitude to you. Ladies and gentlemen, graduations are not only events that are conducted with great pomp and display of different colors of the academic regalia, but they also signal the measure of contribution a country, rather a university such as ours, makes to the knowledge and skills economies of the country. The knowledge and skill sets that the graduates possess are fundamentally important for the social and economic advancement, both in developing and developed countries. Literature affirms that countries' economy is positively impacted by a workforce that is more educated. A corollary arising from this is that a poorly educated workforce may impact the country's economy negatively. Stemming from these views, factors such as the employability of the graduates, the quality and relevance of the knowledge and skills needed in the job market are very important in this relationship. At UNISA, we are acutely alert to this imperative, and hence, through the discipline-specific advisory bodies, giving oversight to the quality and economic relevance of the programs we offer, and the positive feedback we receive from the employability surveys that we conduct annually in our different colleges. We are certain that the graduates of our university will always present a compelling account of their pedigree to the potential employers and society as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony is conducted according to the statutes of the University of South Africa and patterned according to the higher education traditions of celebrating the fulfillment of all requirements attached to the programs that the graduates would have registered for. In this ceremony, a total of 235 diploma and degree certificates will be awarded, but it is only 199 who will receive their certificates in person. To assist me to preside over this ceremony, it is important that I acknowledge and appreciate the presence of academic staff members and the professorate who, by all accounts, were responsible for the tutelage and the supervision of the candidates who are graduating this afternoon. And to you, colleagues, we want to unreservedly thank you for the phenomenal work you have done for our university. But please allow me to particularize the following office bearers of our university. To start off with, representing the council of our university is Mayor B.M. Semenya. Representing the office of the registrar is Professor Moloko Sepota, who is the registrar, and also Ntate Bezaiden, who is serving in the portfolio of the registrar. Representing the College of Graduate Studies is Professor J. Murray, who is acting as director of the School of Transdisciplinary Research Institute. From the College of Law, we have Professor B.A. Dube, who is the director of the School of Law, as well as Professor L.B. Mhlongo. From the College of Human Sciences, we have Professor Isa, as well as Professor F. Kobo. From the College of Economic and Management Sciences, we have Professor S.R. Malefani, as well as Dr. P.B.M. Mapala. From the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, we have Professor S. Makato, as well as Dr. T. Munonde. From the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, we have Professor Ashley Gunter, the Acting Deputy Executive Dean, Professor Semenya, the Director of the School of Environmental Sciences, as well as Professor A. Tagui, who is the Chair of the Department of Agriculture and Animal Health. We also have colleagues from the College of Education, represented by Professor S.A. Ngubani, Professor M.J. Taule, as well as Dr. S. Ngobedi. Also from the College of Accounting Sciences, we have Dr. L. Esteise, Dr. M.O. Ndlovu, as well as Dr. M. Pududu. The Graduate School of Business Leadership is represented by Professor R. Dagada. We also have supervisors of the doctoral candidates, and because we have the biggest cohort of doctoral candidates graduating in a single ceremony this afternoon, I would shy away from particularizing them in the interest of time. But I wish to indicate that we are truly, truly proud about the excellent work that you have done for the university in supervising these doctoral candidates to full completion of their theses. But there are colleagues who labor behind the scenes to ensure that an event of this magnitude happens seamlessly, and these are colleagues who work in the graduation division of our university, the Department of Institutional Advancement, colleagues in the Department of Human Resources, particularly the employee relations thereof, colleagues in the Department of Facility Management, and colleagues from the Multimedia Center. We want to appreciate you for the excellent work that you are doing for our university. Before I introduce the colleague who will deliver the Chancellor's address, I want to make the following announcements, and these announcements must be adhered to without fail. The first one is that all cell phones must be put on silent mode. As I was speaking, there was a cell phone ringing, and that will not be tolerated anymore. In the event the cell phone technology is above your understanding, ask somebody next to you to assist you to put it on silent mode. Beyond this announcement, there won't be any cell phone ringing. At UNISA, graduation is understood to be a celebratory event. So it is good, it is in order to be excited. Now, in the African context, when we celebrate, there are a number of things that happen. One of them is that bomme ba letsa megolokwane, they ululate. Also, in the African context, when we celebrate, we sound our recitals, maboko a rona. And I always say these recitals are not a mere aggregation of words that are meaningless, but they embody the history that we carry as people, as lineages. And they also indicate our aspirations as people. Also, in the African context, when we celebrate, we dance. Now, we are saying to you in this ceremony, if you want to ululate, ululate. If you are inclined to sound your recital, do so. And if you are inclined to dance, dance. However, everything must be done with absolute discipline and moderation. Do not be excessive. Now, when your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew ascends the stage and stands here, you ought to be quiet. There has to be absolute tranquility in the auditorium, because this is the moment that is very critical for the dean to introduce the candidate. Now, each of the 239 candidates who are in this auditorium deserves to have his or her name being announced without your ululation, without your recital, without your dance. Because they are the ones who studied and not you. So it is very important that we accord them the requisite respect. So their name must be announced without interference. As soon as the candidate starts moving, yes, you can sound your recital, you can ululate, you can dance. Even if your recital is not complete, once the candidate kneels where I will be seated, you've got to be quiet. Even if the phrase or the sentence was not completed, you have to make an abrupt stop, and you will complete it after the ceremony. Because it is an opportunity for another candidate's name to be announced. If we work like that, we will enjoy the ceremony. Remember, we are celebrating, but let us celebrate with discipline and dignity. The other announcement is that each candidate has to be applauded with full fervor. The excitement must be the same as the excitement we give to the first candidate, candidate number one. It must be maintained up until candidate number 239. The intensity of the sound must remain the same, because we ought to treat each candidate fairly. That is very important to adhere to. The last announcement is that in this ceremony, once you, the graduate, would have walked through the stage, you must ensure that you return back to your seat. It is not time to go home. You will only do that once the ceremony has been completely dissolved. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with absolute delight that I introduce Professor S. Makhatu to you, who will deliver the Chancellor's address. Professor S. Makhatu is highly credentialed, and his CV is quite extensive, and I have actually shortened it for our convenience. He obtained his Bachelor of Technology at the Tshwane University of Technology, and he proceeded to do a Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, still at Tshwane University of Technology, and obtained the second master's degree in chemical engineering at Wits University. Because of the insatiable appetite that he has for education, he proceeded to study a Doctor of Philosophy degree in chemical engineering, still at Wits University. He is a professional engineer registered with the South African Council of Engineers. Professor Makhatu is a colleague and the chair of the Department of Chemical Engineering in the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology of our university. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together as we welcome Professor S. Makhatu to the lectern.
Chancellor, His Excellency former President Dr. Thabo Mbeki, Principal and Vice Chancellor Professor Puleng Nkabula, Chairperson of Council Dr. Dan Musia, all in absentia, Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Management Committee and Extended Management, esteemed colleagues and academic staff, proud families and friends of our graduates, and most importantly, our graduates of the day, good afternoon. It is both a privilege to stand before you on this momentous occasion. Indeed, today marks the culmination of years of dedication, resilience, and the pursuit of knowledge. To each and every one of our graduates, congratulations. This is your day, and you've truly earned it. I'm immeasurably proud to witness the achievements of this graduating class. You have persevered through a time of profound global change, a period that demanded adaptability, innovation, and unwavering determination. You faced the challenge head on and prevailed. For that, we salute you. Let us take a moment to recognize families, guardians, mentors, partners, friends, and loved ones, including husbands, wives, boyfriends, and girlfriends, who stood by our graduates with financial, emotional, and spiritual support. Your Your sacrifices and steadfast encouragement have made this day indeed possible. Behind every cap and gown is a story of love, support, and perseverance. To all of you, thank you. To our academic and administrative staff, thank you for your tireless commitment, your mentorship, and your enduring belief in our student potential. You are the unseen architects of their success, and we are deeply grateful. We live in the world facing complex and urgent challenges, from inequalities and climate change to unemployment and technological disruption. But within every challenge lies a call to action. And who is better to respond to that call than you? Our graduates who have been shaped by rigorous academic inquiry, ethical grounding, and global awareness. Let me remind you, qualifications may open doors, but it is your character that keeps them open. Intelligence may spark success, but compassion gives it a meaning. Ambition may drive you forward, but it is your humility that will keep you grounded. As you walk across this stage today, take with you more than just a certificate. Carry the courage to stand for the truth, the strength to uplift others, and the determination to transform your knowledge into impact. As you embark on this next chapter, I urge you to embrace 3 guiding principles. First, be courageous. Education is not measured solely by what you know, but how you apply that knowledge, especially in difficult moments. Don't shy away from challenging norms. Speak up for what matters. Stand firm in your values. Indeed, history remembers those who ventured and made a difference. Second, you got to stay curious. Your degree is not the end of learning, but is the beginning of a lifelong journey. A journey marked by the responsibility indeed to make a difference. Whether you are entering an industry, research, entrepreneurship, public service, or community engagement, remain a student of the world. Ask questions, seek truth, embrace change. Carry with you the values and the vision that UNISA instill: integrity, critical thinking, innovation, inclusion, and social justice. Thirdly, lead with integrity. In a world where shortcuts are tempting and ethics are often compromised, let your leadership be defined by honesty, empathy, and accountability. Lead not just with your mind, but with your heart. We need leaders who serve, not those who seek only to be served. Today, you join a proud and vibrant community of UNISA graduates. Those are the men and women who have gone on to lead nations, who transform industry, to heal communities, inspire through the art and science, and educate future generation. Your future indeed is filled with promise, and we eagerly wait the impact you will make. I would be careless not to acknowledge that the road ahead will not always be smooth. There will be setbacks, uncertainties, and the moments of doubt. When they come, you got to remember this day, this achievement, and the strength you summon to reach it. You are stronger than you realize, more capable than you know, and already an examples of resilience. May your journey ahead be one of a bold leadership, transformative contribution, and a lifelong learning. Congratulations. Go forth and shape the world. Thank you, and once again, many congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Professor Makato another round of applause. Thank you very much, Professor, for a thoughtful and insightful message of congratulations, which you delivered so eloquently to the graduates. And I want to believe that the graduates and all of us picked some nuggets that we can carry as provision for our future endeavors. We appreciate the efforts that we have put into the preparation of the Chancellor's address. Ladies and gentlemen, by virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request that the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Nancy Mwikali Mwenze for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Prof. M. Maza, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. Okay, in the absence of the supervisor, I will therefore read the citation. In a thesis entitled Using Laser-Induced Breakdown Spectroscopy to Conjugate Fabricated Silver Nanoparticles with Compounds Important in Treating COVID-19 Patients and Other Infectious Diseases, she succeeded to engineer and validate cost-effective photonics process for the fabrication of efficient nanoscaled bioconjugated silver sensing devices effective in detecting and eliminating harmful biocompounds via a colossal local field enhancement. The optimized bioengineered nanoscaled silver nanosensor exhibited a significant selectivity and detection response. It validated the use of silver nanoparticles for enhanced detection of hydroxychloroquine and dexamethasone, drugs that have been conventionally used to treat malaria and arthritis, respectively. Her research project is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3 and Institutional Vice-Chancellor Catalytic Niche Areas 6 and 7. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Nancy Mwikali Mwenze the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Nancy Mwikali Mwenze.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Mokopane Charles Marakalala for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. In the absence of his supervisor, Dr. Abashoni Matsibandela, I have the honor to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis entitled An Exploration of Biometric-Based Solution in Combating Mobile Fraud at South African Banking Risk Information Center, he examines how hackers infiltrate mobile devices to obtain access to people's bank accounts and confidential personal data to defraud them. Since millions of people worldwide use online banking to conduct routine bank transactions quickly and easily, criminals have abundant opportunities to commit this kind of fraud. The purpose of this study was to generate new knowledge with a view to empowering in-house investigators as the brick who investigate mobile fraud cases. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Mokwabane Charles Margalala the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Mokopane Charles Maragalala.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Nana Kwame Ajeman for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. In the absence of his supervisor, Prof. Kamika, it is my honor to read his citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis entitled Source Water Protection, a study of the Oabi River and its catchment area in Antwima, Mwabija District, Ghana, he investigates the socio-economic implications of source water protection by local communities and the need for effective water management strategies encompassing environmental sustainability and socio-economic equity. He makes valuable contribution to the body of knowledge in the source of water protection and water catchment protection by proposing that effective source water protection is crucial for sustaining the socio-economic well-being of communities. The study underscores the need for integrated water management strategies that are both environmentally sound and socially equitable. He advocates for increased community involvement in water management practices and recommends developing a comprehensive policy framework to address the identified challenges. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Nana Kwame Ajimen the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Nana Kwame Ajimen.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Colette Maswanganyi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. In the absence of his supervisor, Dr. Chilongo, it is my honor to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis entitled Verification of Gas Pollutants from Selected Ground-Based Monitoring Stations in Limpopo, he conducts a significant and original study addressing the urgent challenges of air pollution monitoring in South Africa. His research verifies the accuracy and reliability of gaseous pollutants data from ground-based monitoring stations located in Polokwane, Stilpoort, Lephalale, and Phalaborwa in Limpopo province. These regions are characterized by intensive mining and industrial and urban activities that contribute to the atmospheric pollution. The findings reveal spatial variations in pollutant levels and highlight challenges affecting data quality, including calibration drift and data gaps in long-term monitoring. The study offers practical recommendations to strengthen data validation, environmental policy compliance, and evidence-based air quality management in South Africa. His scholarly excellency is demonstrated through the publication of 2 peer-reviewed journal articles arising from this doctoral research. The co-supervisor was Dr. L.G. Martin. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Colette Maswanganyi the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Colette Maswanganyi.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Pauline Swaleti Mogokonyane for the degree of Doctor of Social Work. I request the Supervisor, Professor Adlam, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Good afternoon. In a thesis entitled The Nature and Management of School-Based Violence, Recommendations to Enhance Existing Strategies for Social Work Intervention, she investigates one of the most pressing social issues affecting South African schools through rigorous data collection and analysis She reveals the complex interplay of factors that contribute to school-based violence and exposes the limitations of current intervention strategies. Her findings offer evidence-based recommendations, including multidisciplinary collaboration, specialized training, and contextually relevant community-based approaches. The thesis makes a timely and significant contribution to the social work knowledge base and empowers practitioners to develop more effective interventions, thereby promoting safer, protective, and transformative school environments.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Pauline Swaledi Mogokonyane the degree of Doctor of Social Work.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Social Work on Pauline Swaledi Mogokanyane.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Neo Francis Ravuhali for the degree of Doctor of Social Work. I request the Supervisor, Professor B.J. Mohapi, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis entitled The Psychosocial Experiences, Challenges, and Needs of University Students Studying Under Enrollment Conditions program in the Free State Province, Suggested Guidelines for Enhanced Psychosocial Support. She investigates the lived experiences of students on academic probation at a higher education institution. The findings reveal that these students experience profound psychosocial distress, compounded by institutional gaps in student support and limited awareness amongst key stakeholders. Drawing on these insights, she proposes evidence-based guidelines constituting an integrated framework for psychosocial intervention, thereby strengthening social work practice and contributing significantly to student well-being and academic success in higher education. The co-supervisor is Dr. M.P. Dipela.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Neo Francis Ravuhali the degree of Doctor of Social Work.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Social Work on Neo Francis Rabual.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Jacqueline de Vos for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request the Supervisor, Professor Nokele, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled Addressing Language as a Methodological Issue in Cross-Language Research, Guidelines for Research in Psychology, she explores how researchers navigate language barriers in multilingual studies. Using document analysis within a social 10 theoretical framework, she developed practical guidelines aimed at enhancing transparency and rigor in cross-language research. Her contribution lies in bridging methodological gaps and offering a structured approach for ethically managing language diversity in research. Prof. Zetu Kakata was the co-supervisor.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Jacqueline de Vos the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Jacqueline de Vos.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Pumzile Lucia Dlamini for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request the Supervisor, Professor T.S.B. Mokoboto Swane, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Tuberculosis preventive therapy is a key component of the End Tuberculosis strategy. However, its uptake among people living with HIV is still suboptimal globally and locally, making its coverage an ongoing challenge. In her thesis entitled Strategies to Strengthen Tuberculosis Preventive Therapy Initiation Amongst HIV-Positive Clients in Eswatini, she demonstrates that tuberculosis prevention therapy uptake is low in Eswatini because more than half of all the TB clients have not taken TPT prior to tuberculosis diagnosis. The World Health Organization has recommended initiation of tuberculosis prevention therapy for all eligible people living with HIV following a negative TB screening. Using a convergent mixed method design, she makes a compelling contribution by developing evidence-based strategies that were validated by tuberculosis researchers.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Pumzile Lucia Dlamini the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Welcome.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Pumzile Lucia Dlamini.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Tabang Richard Mofokeng for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor Madise, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis titled Discontinuity in Black Pentecostal Dress within the Apostolic Faith Mission of South Africa in Qwaqwa, South Africa from 1975 to 2020, Thabang Richard Mofokeng examines the intersection of Black Pentecostal identity, self-perception, and public witness with dress codes from 1975 to 2020, with intent to understand the meanings, rationales, and transformations informing congregants' external presentation utilizing cultural evolutionary theory. His findings advance the academic discourse on religion, culture, identity, and social change by providing a unique, historically grounded, and theoretically robust study of dress evolution within Black Pentecostalism. in South Africa.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Tabang Richard Mofokeng the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. You're welcome.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Thabang Richard Mofokeng.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Slompang Panketi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request the Supervisor, Professor Dube, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled University Libraries as Agents of National Development in Zimbabwe, she explores the potential of extending public libraries' mandates beyond academic functions to contribute to community empowerment and national progress. Her findings reveal that although university libraries engage actively with surrounding communities, and most initiatives are informal and they lack policies or frameworks, the study's value lies in its practical and theoretical contribution to understand how universities can be repositioned as a strategic instrument for national development. It provides evidence-based insights that can inform policy formulation, guide institutional planning, and strengthen community engagement practices in higher education.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Slompang Panketi the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Slompang Page.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Mesafint Abeye Terune for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request the Supervisor, Professor A. Mabandu Mutsusi, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Development of a Model for Adherence to Medical Ethics Among Medical Doctors in Ethiopia, Mr. Tirune assessed the level and determinants of adherence to medical ethics. Adherence to medical ethics was found to be low and associated with various determinants. Based on the study findings, he developed a model to improve adherence to medical ethics among medical doctors in Ethiopia. The model has the potential to make a significant contribution in the field of medicine and public health. Moreover, it may inform stakeholders decision makers and policymakers as they develop policies and design corrective intervention to ensure adherence to medical ethics.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Mesafint Abeje Tourene the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Mesafint Abeje Turine.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Justin Graham Vermeulen for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor Ter Blanche, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In the absence of Professor Ter Blanche, I will read the citation. In his thesis entitled Theory and Practice of a Neo-Shamanic Cosmology for Psychotherapy and Autoethnographic Inquiry, he describes a novel integrative neo-shamanic cosmological framework and provides an outline for its application in a transpersonal psychotherapy context. Drawing on his personal and professional life experiences, together with an in-depth examination of the academic literature, he presents guidance and inspiration for others wishing to broaden the horizons of psychological research and the practice of psychology. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you to confer on Justin Graham Vermeulen the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Justin Graham Vermeulen.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Frida Aonaki Akwete for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor Vijay Pitswe, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled The Role of Continuous Professional Development in Enhancing Efficacy of University Administrative Staff in Selected University in Ghana, she thoroughly investigates the role of continuous professional development in enhancing the efficacy of administrative staff in University of Ghana using a mixed method research design. The findings highlight the importance of integrating technology-driven solutions such as learning platforms to address challenges related to accessibility and flexibility. The study contributes to the growing body of knowledge on continuous professional development, offering actionable insights for policymakers university administrators, and other stakeholders seeking to enhance workforce development in higher education settings.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Frida Aonaki Akwete the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Frida Aonaki Akwete.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Nhlanhla Mkweli for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor Z.M. Jojo, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Integration of Ethnomathematics in the Teaching and Learning of Geometric Transformations in Bulawayo Urban Secondary Schools in Zimbabwe, he investigated ethnomathematics integration in the teaching and learning of geometric transformations in Bulawayo Urban Secondary Schools in Zimbabwe, informed by socio-cultural situated learning, border crossing, and collateral learning theories. The study developed an ethnomathematics integration guideline, which was implemented during the intervention teaching program. Subsequently, he concluded that meaningful learning of ethnomathematics with familiar mathematics practices found in the learner's socio-cultural environment, and those should be integrated into the teaching and learning of geometric transformations.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Nhlanhla Mkweli the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Nhlanhla Mkweli.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Albertus Wessels for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor S.G. Pretorius, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his absence, I will have the honor of reading the citation. In his thesis, An Effective Mentorship Program for Novice Teachers in Selected Secondary Schools of the Gauteng Province, South Africa, he examines complex challenges faced by beginner teachers, highlighting the gap between prospective teachers, idealized perceptions of teaching, and the realities of classroom practice. Drawing on the research findings, Wessels developed a comprehensive model encompassing all critical phases of the mentoring process, including pre-mentoring, active mentoring, and post-mentoring activities, thereby contributing to both the theoretical and practical dimensions of development in the South African education context. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Albertus Wessels the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Albertus Wessels.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Tiani Pamela Baji for the degree of Philosophy, Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor N.H. Manchidi, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis entitled Repositioning Entrepreneurship Through the Development of an Entrepreneurial Mindset Among Graduates in South African Universities, she investigates how integrating entrepreneurship education effectively fosters an entrepreneurial mindset among graduates in South African universities. The study's analysis is grounded in a composite theoretical framework that integrates social cognitive theory, the theory of planned behavior, the Rubicon model of action phases, and the situated metacognitive model. She introduced the multi-level entrepreneurial mindset development model, which advocates for a systematic reform that embeds entrepreneurial education into all university disciplines and further offer actionable insights for curriculum development, institutional strategy, and policy innovation to promote entrepreneurial self-sufficiency amongst graduates.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Tiani Pamela Baji the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Diane Pamela Baji.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Kosiame Yulenda Mulupe for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her co-supervisor, Professor S.M. Sieletse, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled Examining the Contribution of Support Programs for South African Black-Owned SMMEs in Gauteng Province, Khusiame Yolanda Molope critically evaluates the effectiveness of government and public support programs aimed at sustaining Black-owned SMMEs in Gauteng, employing a qualitative design with purposive sampling and in-depth interviews. She identifies key gaps in ongoing support, such as limited training, evaluation, and communication misalignment. Her research advocates for a coordinated, holistic intervention strategy that enhances continuous support and integrated risk management, thereby contributing valuable insight to economic development and policy literature. This scholarly contribution is evidenced by the publication of 7 articles in leading international peer-reviewed DHET accredited journals, with additional manuscripts currently under consideration in high-impact journals. Work to further extend and deepen this impactful research remains actively in progress, underscoring its ongoing relevance to both academic inquiry and practical policy making in the South African economic landscape. The main supervisor, Professor Watson Wadzani, is also in attendance.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Rusiame Yulenda Molope the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Husiami Yulenda Molope.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Mlingelwa Wiseman Shezi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Dr. A.J. DeBrain, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Good afternoon. In his thesis entitled Constructing a Model for Collective Bargaining within a South African University, he developed an innovative model tailored to the South African university context, employing a positivist quantitative design with strativist random sampling using a collective survey instrument, and grounded in classical and contemporary theories within the African laxology of Ubuntu. He proposes a novel structural equation model integrating workplace conflict, organizational justice, organizational trust, and collective bargaining. The model offers a contextually relevant and empirically grounded framework to strengthen collective bargaining in tertiary institutions amid an evolving digital world of work in South Africa.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Mlingelwa Wiseman Shezi the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Mlingelwa Wiseman Shares.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you James Akor Oben for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his co-supervisor, Professor Katlisi, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Framework for Improving Reporting Quality of Content Elements in Integrated Reports of JSE-listed companies, he develops an assessment framework to evaluate and enhance the quality of integrated reporting for companies listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. His research makes a valuable contribution to corporate reporting by introducing weighted disclosure indices and identifying key firm-level factors influencing disclosure practices. By improving reporting quality, his work supports greater transparency, accountability, and trustworthiness in line with King IV principles, helping to strengthen the corporate disclosures and stakeholder confidence. The main supervisor is Dr. C.N. Chikuduma.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on James Ako-Oben the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on James Ago Oben.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Education. Aisha Ali. Pumudzo Solomon Machona. Itumeleng Francina Mukhabudi. Maureen Parker.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Commerce. Kotshelwa Winfried Manager. Neo Masya Mwate. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, Lulama Clementine Doe obtained the degree with distinction. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Philosophy in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Molebogeng Faith Marumo. Tatenda Mataruse.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, Patishwa Moyo received the degree of Master of Accounting Sciences. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, Dylan Serfontein receives the degree of Master of Philosophy in the College of Accounting Sciences.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Arts. Admire Lesenga Maluleke. Tendai Maposa. Dirk Jan Schreder. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Information Science. Wait. Sigle Derek Bloss. Refilwe Mpo Malachi. Lungile Porsche Sia. Nontobeko Nella Mtembu. Sesamani Cyril Klomatsana.
Sesamani Cyril Klomatsana.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Science in the College of
Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Chireletso Mentor received the degree with distinction. Simon Gladwin Mukolo Kotela Mutlou.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Science in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Silas Nswani. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, Ndamlelo Nancy Posa obtained the degree with distinction. Mkaliseni Serial Zuma. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Engineering. Lovemore Mugwagwa. Samson Sipo Sevilla. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Technology Honors. Sesame Makaban.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors in the College of Law. Amin Alambi. Mace Pretty Kumalo.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Charmaine Pebetsi Madiba. Johanna Khuthatso Muhafe.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors in the College of Human Sciences. Sharitha Gobind obtained her degree with distinction. Mamsi Malumele Zimande. Lorraine Lisikhokulu obtained the degree with distinction.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor Khumutso Flora Hlungwane receives the degree of Bachelor of Information Science Honours.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Education. Vusi Jan Mbowane, Khabaren Grace Raja Lakane, Nomvula Lucia Zulu, Ngobile Nombuso Mtenjwa, Sibongile Pumla Nyatheli, Mahlatse Georgina Munareng,
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree Bachelor of Business Administration. Nomtandazo Immaculate Dube. Jocelyn Poncho Mashishi. Lebogang Molefe. Tabu Mollo. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Lukman Abed. Muzamani Bila. Imelda Linda Chauke. Tebogo Helma Chauke. Salome Kenelwe Kanyaho. Cabello Sandra Maslagare. Refilwe Given Mapisha. Maslache Precious Maputa. Letabo Pleasure Masenya. Pamela Anita Mungobozi. Becky Temba Mkachwa. Nompumelelo Mngadi. Cholofelo Constance Mokwena. Mapoko Imelda Moniela. Richard Muhire Ndaya Banje. Manda Nemutanzela. Tembisa Nolwazi Nyembe. Asive Pete. Mapefo Charmaine Puteho. Sebina Dorcas Pulumutswe. Janet Koka. Francina Mapila Ramorula. Kevin Bongani Silauli. Nozuko Posha Sondiazi. Patience Lerato Toso.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Accounting Science. Joseph Tapelo Njana. Ursula Valerie Roots.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Laws. Fortune Ndonhlanhla Madihlaba. Mandlakayise Sibusiso Mhlambi. Mariri Enoch Moriti. Robert Pinar. Kotsato Simadi. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Arts in the College of Law. Tobile Tandazi Kanye. Habo Alex Langa. Surprise Rulani Makubele. Elelwani Masao. Hlazipi Temboguhle Mngoma. Litsatsi Nkalonko Mukwana. Florence Mulopo. Simoniso Mpabasa. Matron Matlaku Swana. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Commerce in the College of Law. Offensi Mukwape Francina Matebula. Ribaone Simanyani.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Innocent Lidwaba received the degree of Bachelor of Science.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Khutatso Mukhonwana. Florence Ntombi Skosana.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Information Science. Puleng Janet Mohale. Mapule Leshen Mutibe. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Theology. Nrateng Joyce Mabote. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Sipesihle Pilasande Tonjeni. Lesego Patricia Malati. Amanda Nobuzana. Buichoko Ani Tselana. Dilahlwane Selina Chalali. Mkhululi Chimoyo. Dimakacho Martha Lehwati. Musupie Karabo Maimela. Cindy Valentine Maseko. Charity Muswani. Tabiseng Ruth Radiape. Sinako konke Deborah Twala.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be presented to you. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Bonga Malindi receives the postgraduate diploma in the College of Accounting Sciences.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Evans Ntlantla Dube. Dipale Monica Maisela. Cheza Makwanya. Siamo Keshia Mwabelo. Petunia Palisa. Petunia Palisa Mutsapi. Nondumiso Ndadani. Zanele Ndumiso Ngumalo. Sekhurani Walter Hlako.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Graduate School of Business Leadership. Simangele Precious Gumete. Zandile Patuleni.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Human Sciences. Faith Sibongile Chauke. Penny Augustine Mukhale. Mamelo Percy Chabalala.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Snethemba Snenhla Zulu receives the diploma in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Law. Ritsongile Odessa Hlungwane. Makuba Paul Machaka. Matsatsi Emma Malaji. Lerato Sarah Malulega. Ntsibe Maroga. Sinaso Balingonzi. Valerie Madonna Michaels. Nyedisani Joseph Ngwana Motsena. Khumutsego Elizabeth Petwani. Aleta Metricia Sikakatlela. Tiamo Constella Sikwane. Zandile Simelani.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Melva Xolisile Baloi. Krishelda Tembo Hlungwane. Sibapiwe Omega Madlala. Tlaisani Prudence Mahuhu. Mamudiehi Susan Makosholo. Itumeleng Clara Maponya. Mubumbi Godfrey Mbue. Kgothatso Moabelo. Tendani Mulautse. Hoshia Mudau. Pulofelo Jacqueline Musia. Josephine Mohlaudi Rakgadi Pelo. Dikeledi Millicent Rapasha. Tembi Molefe Sello. Ipileng Sepeng. Emmanuel Lisiba Tamar. Ari.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give the graduates a thunderous round of applause. Congratulations to all of you. You have done well. You must be very proud about your accomplishments. That is something to write home about. Well done to you. As we conclude the proceedings this afternoon, my final task is to congratulate you and bid you farewell, as well as dissolving this congregation. But it is important that I share with you a few thoughts. And in the interest of time, I will be very brief. You have received your qualification from an internationally renowned, credible institution of higher education. And this we affirm without any form of equivocation. We know that the University of South Africa is an internationally renowned institution. It has its roots in 130 countries globally, where it has students. In this spring ceremony, or ceremonies alone, a series of about 48 ceremonies that we had in spring, no less than 17,120 diplomas and degree certificates were awarded. If you add this figure to the number of graduates who graduated during autumn ceremonies, which was 48,799, the total for this year, and we only have one ceremony left, that is the ceremony that will start at 6 o'clock this evening. The total will be 65,919 graduates. This number indicates that the University of South Africa is peerless. In other words, it does not have peers. It is performing above all universities in the continent as well as most universities in other continents. So you ought to be proud. And our excellence is not only limited in numbers, by the way. We excel even in quality. That is why you ought to be very, very proud about the degree that you have acquired. The University of South Africa has an illustrious history, or history if you wish, that spans over 152 years of existence as an institution of higher learning, whose raison d'etre, the very reason why it exists, is to shape futures in service of humanity and to reclaim Africa's intellectual features. Pursuant to this Pan-Africanist ideal, we are delighted and thus exude with pride that even after the sesquicentennial period of existence, we are still resolute and unwaveringly committed to ensuring that excellence and success remain to be the virtues defining the fabric we are made of. That is why the quality of education you have received and the skills you have amassed over your period of study can stand you in any situation and you would compete successfully. As a UNISA graduate, we want to say, and this is to reiterate the sentiments expressed by Professor Makato in the Chancellor's address. He said, make sure that you live according to your values and you do not compromise them. And at UNISA, the values that we cherish are integrity, innovation, and excellence. These are attributes which ought to define you beyond this ceremony in whatever line you take. Ethical and collective responsibility. You must ensure that in each and every task you undertake as a UNISA graduate, you espouse these very values that we cherish. The knowledge, the skills that were shared with you are heavily contingent on these values that I have just described. We want to implore you to respond meaningfully and to remember, in accordance with the wisdom of our forebears, that mebala ya kgaka e bonagala dikgakaneng. Kgaka kgolo e re ga ke na mebala ya ka e dikgakaneng. Yes, as an institution, we parented you. But you see, the colors of UNISA have to be displayed by you. The quality of education you have received should be revealed by you. Unfortunately, you're graduating at a time when the country is bedeviled by all sorts of maladies and challenges. And for you to make it and make it well in this current context, you have to live according to your values. Just this Sunday, in one of the newspapers in our country, Dr. Musibudi Mangena published an article, and this is the former Minister of Science and Technology in our country. He published an article entitled, "Too Many People Are Selfish, Morally Corrupt." And the subtitle of the article is, "Unbridled Greed Seems to Drive People at All Levels." That's how Dr. Musibudi Mangena characterizes our society, based on what is currently happening. But our hope rests in you, the UNISA graduate. Go and change the situation in whatever space you occur, for you are a person with integrity. You are a pursuer of excellence. You actually have to improve the quality of life of many other people. Our people are crying for help. And I'm talking about South Africans as a whole. They are crying for help. What is happening is deplorable. It is only those who carry knowledge who can assist this country to emancipate itself from the shackles of corruption and greed. We release you with absolute confidence, and we wish you the best of futures, knowing that the fabric that has constituted you over your period of that is commensurate with the qualification you have earned. May you enjoy all the rights and benefits attached to your qualification. May I kindly request that the doctoral candidates quickly to be on their feet. It is my singular honor to be the first to officially use the title of doctor to you. Dr. Nancy Mwikali Mwenze. Dr. Mukopane Charles Marakalala. Dr. Nana Kwame Agieman. Dr. Colette Maswanganyi. Dr. Neo Francis Rabuali. Dr. Jacqueline DeVos. Dr. Pumzile Lucia Dlamini. Dr. Kave Vangwa Kahengwa. Dr. Tabang Richard Mofokeng. Dr. Solomon Olusegan Oyetola. Dr. Thompang Pangeti. Dr. Nicholas Franklin Lee Shadell. Dr. Masfati Abeje Tirune. Dr. Justin Graham Vermeulen. Dr. George Clifford Yamson. Dr. Frida Awenaki Akwete. Dr. Nhlanhla Mkweli. Dr. Albertus Vessels. Dr. Diani Pamela Bachi. Dr. Husiami Yulenda Molope. Dr. Mlingelwa Wiseman Shezi. Dr. James Ako Owen. Is there anyone that I inevitably omitted? Doctor? Dr. Pauline Zwaledi Mohokonyane. Yes. Oh yes. Dr. Pauline Tswaledi Mahokonyane. Congratulations to all of you and many, many thanks for setting a fitting example to our country as a whole and to the graduates who are behind you. I want to believe all of them are yearning to attain the level that you have reached. A doctoral degree is the loftiest degree globally. There is no other degree beyond the degree that you have attained. Well done to all of you. Continue to assist others, support others to reach the level that you have reached. Congratulations. You are the only ones who are allowed to sleep with the gowns tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude the proceedings, I just wanted to extend an invitation to those who are able to assist. The University of South Africa has opened its doors much more wider than any other university in the country. To that extent, we accept even students who come from the economic margins of the country, who are unable to finance their fees. And we have created a bursary fund that is intended to support the students. And as a university, we are doing a lot more to ensure that these students are not compromised on account of lack. So we wanted to extend an invitation to those who would be able to contribute to the UNISA Student Bursary Fund, whose details are obtainable from the university website, www.unisa.ac.za. Access the website and it will guide you how to make your contribution in an effort to transform lives. Ladies and gentlemen, after this announcement, I would request that you rise for the singing of the national anthem. And after the anthem, I would request you to remain standing so that we dissolve the congregation and also to allow the procession to leave the auditorium. Please rise. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.